Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Good Habits, Bad Habits, authored by Wendy Wood, a professor of psychology and business at the University of South Carolina. With over 30 years of expertise and more than 100 academic articles under her belt, Wood is a world-leading expert in the psychology of habit. This book unravels the complex nature of human habits by incorporating groundbreaking research in psychology and neuroscience alongside insightful lab-based experiments. It provides a profound understanding of how habits are formed and sustained, offering readers practical strategies to harness their habits for positive life changes. Good Habits, Bad Habits is tailored for a diverse audience, including ambitious planners who find it challenging to stick to their goals, serial dieters seeking to transform their eating habits permanently, and anyone striving to eliminate stubborn bad habits. Through engaging narratives and evidence-based approaches, Wood demonstrates the power of habits in shaping our daily lives and presents an effective framework for achieving personal transformation. This book is an essential guide for anyone looking to unlock the full potential of good habits and bid farewell to the bad ones, paving the way for a more fulfilling and productive life. Good Habits, Bad Habits: The Science of Making Positive Changes That Stick. Introduction. Unlock the power of habits to transform your life. Imagine living nearly half of your life on autopilot. Approximately 43% of what we do every day isn't the result of active decision-making, but rather habits picking up the steering wheel. That's right. From the first spoonful of breakfast cereal to the last click of the light switch at night, habits are in charge. But here's the kicker. What if you could harness this incredible force to not just run in the background, but to actively propel you towards your goals? Diving into the world of habit formation reveals a treasure trove of insights and strategies. Our journey is not about wresting control from our habits, it's about refining them, learning their mechanics, and ultimately crafting a set of automatic behaviors that align with who we want to be and where we want to go. You're about to discover why a roulette wheel can teach us more about habit formation than a predictable reward system, why the concept of self-control is often misinterpreted, and the truth about how long it takes to turn a new behavior into a seamless part of your day. First, the element of surprise in rewards plays a crucial role. Uncertainty about what we're going to get. Think of a gambler at a slot machine or the variable likes on a social media post. Can fuel our engagement and drive us to stick with a habit. It's the anticipation of the unknown, rather than the reward itself, that keeps us coming back. Now, let's tackle the myth surrounding self-control. Society lauds it as the holy grail of achieving goals and breaking bad habits. However, relying solely on self-control is like trying to keep a hungry bear at bay with a stick. Eventually, you're going to get overwhelmed. The secret lies not in mustering more self-control, but in designing our environments and routines to make the right choices, the easy choices, thereby bypassing the need for Herculean willpower. Lastly, the question of how long it takes to form a habit is one that has puzzled many. While there's no one-size-fits-all answer, understanding that consistency is key rather than a strict timeline can free us to focus on the process rather than the clock. It's the repeated association between a cue and an action that cements a habit, transforming our actions into automatic responses that power our lives seamlessly. Embracing these insights into habit psychology doesn't just tweak the dials on our day-to-day actions. It holds the blueprint for revolutionizing how we live. Imagine crafting a life where habits are not just patterns we fall into, but powerful allies we design with purpose and intention. This journey into the psychology of habit isn't just about understanding ourselves better. It's about unlocking a tool set that can shape our lives for the better, one habit at a time. Part 1. The invisible strings that pull our lives, the power of habits. What if I told you that a significant chunk of your daily actions are not choices but habits you've unknowingly developed over the years. From the moment you rise from bed to the way you wrap up your day, a network of habits orchestrates your movements, often without your conscious approval. For many of us, mornings unfold in a series of almost robotic actions. We wake, we prepare, we commute, a sequence so familiar we rarely pause to question its components. Whether your morning involves a solo rush out the door or a complex dance of family responsibilities, the reality is you likely glide through these motions, propelled by habit rather than active decision-making. The core revelation here is a simple yet profound one. Habits control our lives, and much of the time we're barely aware of their influence. Habits wield their power silently, operating beneath the threshold of our conscious thought. Unlike the active processes of making decisions or exercising willpower, habits belong to a different category of mental function. They are the autopilot mode of our brain, the non-conscious repetition of actions we've grown accustomed to over time. Think about the last time you deliberated over whether to brush your teeth in the morning or debated with yourself over putting on your seatbelt before driving. Chances are you didn't. These actions occur automatically, guided by the unseen hand of habit. Everything from the reflexive way we greet our loved ones at the end of the day to our stubborn cravings for certain foods is influenced by habit. It's what prompts us to perform safety checks like signaling before a turn, and unfortunately it's also what keeps us reaching for unhealthy snacks we vowed to quit. Acknowledging the pervasive role of habits doesn't nullify our control. It opens the door to transformation. Recognizing that habits are not set in stone but rather pliable patterns, we possess the power to reshape them. We can discard the habits that serve us poorly and cultivate new ones that contribute positively to our lives. To harness this power, we must first understand the machinery of habit itself. By uncovering the mechanisms that forge these invisible strings, we gain the ability to pull them in directions that align with our desires and aspirations. Part 2. The hidden force behind our actions. Habit versus self-control. Have you ever kicked off the new year filled with ambition, setting resolutions like getting in shape, saving more money, or giving up smoking? If that sounds familiar, you probably also know the frustrating feeling of watching that initial burst of motivation dwindle until those grand plans fade into the background of daily life. So, what goes wrong? Is it a lack of self-discipline that derails us? A failure to truly desire our objectives? Or perhaps a misunderstanding of what's genuinely beneficial for us? Surprisingly, the answer to these questions tends to veer in a different direction. Here's an insight that might shift your perspective. Our habits have a more powerful grip on our actions than self-control. The common belief is that if we muster enough willpower and self-discipline, we can overhaul our spending habits, quit unhealthy habits, and embrace a more active lifestyle. However, this approach puts undue emphasis on the powers of self-control, neglecting the pivotal role of habits in driving lasting change. This is not just speculation. Studies lend weight to this understanding. Take, for example, an intriguing piece of research where over 100 teenagers participated in a meditation retreat. On the retreat's conclusion, they shared their intentions to continue meditating, albeit to varying extents. Predictably, those who prided themselves on high levels of self-control were among the most likely to stick to their meditation routines. But here's the twist. These individuals didn't lean on their disciplined nature to maintain their practice. Instead, meditation became an automatic behavior for them, essentially a habit. This finding pivots our understanding of self-control and its relationship with success. It suggests that while self-control might give us the initial push towards adopting a new behavior, its true value lies in its ability to help us forge lasting habits, rather than fighting a constant battle of wills against every temptation. Integrating good habits into our lives allows us to navigate choices more effortlessly. Self-control, it seems, is the spark that ignites the formation of habits, and these habits in turn carry us closer to our goals. with far less struggle than continuous self-discipline would require. By shifting our focus from a relentless pursuit of self-control to the strategic cultivation of beneficial habits, we can make lasting changes in our lives with a fraction of the effort and frustration. Part 3. How your surroundings can make or break your habits. Picture this. You've just settled in for a cozy evening and you decide to watch an episode of your latest TV obsession on a streaming platform. Before you know it, one episode seamlessly flows into the next, and suddenly, you're several episodes deep into a binge-watching marathon. Ever wonder why it's so hard to hit the pause button? This phenomenon can be chalked up to what's known as a driving force, a term from the world of psychology that explains how certain aspects of our environment nudge us towards specific behaviors. In the case of our streaming spree, the automatic play feature acts as a driving force, luring us into watching just one more episode. Herein lies a critical insight. Our environment plays a significant role in shaping our habits. The concept of driving forces comes from Kurt Lewin, a German-American psychologist, who posited that our actions are a product of both our internal desires and the external pressures exerted by our surroundings. But there's more to the story. For every driving force pushing us toward a behavior, there's a restrictive force holding us back. Imagine trying to light up a cigarette in a smoke-free zone. The hassle of stepping outside or finding a designated smoking area acts as a restrictive force, making the act of smoking less appealing. Harnessing the power of these forces can be a game-changer in modifying our habits. Take, for example, the all-too-common habit of constantly checking your phone. Placing it just out of easy reach injects a small inconvenience that acts as a restrictive force against the habit, giving you a fighting chance to concentrate on the task at hand. On the flip side, we can align driving forces with our aspirations for positive change. Trying to eat healthier, keeping a bowl of fresh fruit within easy reach, creates a driving force that nudges you toward making healthier snack choices. The magic lies in transforming your space to support your ambitions. By mindfully arranging our environments, we can capitalize on driving forces to lure us toward beneficial habits and implement restrictive forces to deter us from counterproductive ones. Whether it's altering your physical surroundings or adjusting digital environments like your phone or computer settings, tweaking your environment can be the unsung hero in your quest to build better habits. In the grand scheme of things, making your environment your ally could be the key to unlocking a happier, healthier lifestyle. Part 4. The Path to Habit Formation. Consistent Action Over Time. You've taken the pivotal first steps by transforming your surroundings to encourage good habits and discourage the bad ones. The cookies are out of sight, the running shoes are ready by the door. But what's next? How do you transition from conscious effort to automatic behavior? If you're expecting to turn a new leaf in precisely 21 days, think again. The process is not quite that simple or uniform. Here's a crucial piece of the puzzle. The key to embedding a new habit lies in the consistent repetition of the desired action. The journey to habit formation doesn't come with a universal timeline. It fluctuates significantly depending on the individual and the complexity of the habit being formed. However, the unanimous chorus from researchers is clear. Repetition is non-negotiable. One study led by Dr. Pippa Lally, a researcher at the University of London, provides some insight into this process. Dr. Lally and her team observed a group of students as they attempted to integrate new healthy behaviors into their routines. The students reported on whether they engaged in their target action each day and described how automatic the action felt. The findings revealed a spectrum of timelines. For example, forming the habit of drinking a healthy beverage every day fell just shy of 2 months, whereas committing to daily exercise teetered around the 3-month mark. These timeframes might seem daunting, but they underscore a truth about habit formation. It's an investment in future ease and efficiency. This becomes particularly intriguing when we consider habits that must dislodge older, more ingrained patterns. The initial phase of choosing the gym over a Netflix binge can feel like an uphill battle against your own nature. But with persistence, you'll observe a transformative shift where the new activity begins to feel less like a choice and more like a default setting. It's vital to acknowledge that there are no shortcuts in this process, no secret hacks that expedite the emergence of habits. The blueprint is straightforward yet demanding. Repeat the behavior with unwavering consistency, day in and day out. Embracing this method may require patience and resilience, but the rewards are manifold. By firmly rooting a new habit, you pave the way for behaviors that can significantly enhance your life quality, proving that the investment of time and effort is well worth the enduring benefits that follow. Part 5. The Reward Factor. How gratification solidifies habits. In the intricate dance of habit formation, there's a critical, often overlooked partner: the reward. As it turns out, the feeling of reward is not just the cherry on top of our efforts, but a fundamental component in forging long-lasting habits. Recent advancements in neuroscience have shed light on this phenomenon, pinpointing dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, as a key player in the habit-making process. Dopamine does more than just give us a sense of pleasure. It cements our experiences into memory, thereby solidifying the connection between an action and the joy it brings. The takeaway is clear. To effectively establish a habit, an element of reward is non-negotiable. But here's where things get interesting. The type of reward that seems to be most effective in habit formation might surprise you. It's the uncertain kind. You might logically assume that a reliable, predictable reward would be the best motivator. However, research suggests otherwise. For instance, in a study where students played a game, their performance and engagement were notably higher when their winnings were determined by chance rather than a set amount. This unpredictability, it seems, injects a dose of excitement into the mix, enhancing our motivation to engage in the habit-forming action. This principle of uncertainty explains why we're so glued to our devices, continually checking for new notifications. More often than not, our phones bombard us with mundane updates. Yet, the occasional surprise, a hilarious meme, or an unexpected message from someone special keeps us coming back for more. When integrating rewards into habit formation, timeliness is of the essence. Immediate rewards reinforce the habit more effectively than those that are delayed. Consequently, far-off benefits, though motivating, do not nurture the habit in its nascent stage as effectively as immediate gratifications do. For this reason, the most potent rewards are those intrinsically linked to the habit itself. Finding enjoyment in the habit-building activity makes the process rewarding by nature. So, if healthy eating is your goal, indulge in the most delicious healthy options available. And if exercise is your target, choose an enjoyable and social activity, like playing a sport with friends. Ultimately, the secret to etching a new habit into your life lies in coupling your endeavors with rewarding experiences. This blend not only ignites the spark of motivation, but ensures it burns long enough to transform action into habit. Part 6. Turning to habits, our natural response to stress. In an era where stress has become a constant backdrop to our lives, finding ways to navigate its choppy waters is more important than ever. With a significant portion of the population admitting to levels of stress that border on unhealthy, it's clear that the pressures of modern life often push us to our limits. The impact of chronic stress extends far beyond mere discomfort or agitation. It actively impairs the so-called executive processes in our brains, those advanced cognitive functions we depend on for planning, decision-making, and pondering the future. Yet, even as stress dims our capacity for these higher-order processes, it doesn't leave us entirely defenseless. Here lies a fascinating insight. When stress levels rise, we instinctively turn to our habits. This shift isn't a sign of failure, but an adaptive response. While our conscious thinking may falter under stress, our habits, those actions ingrained through repetition and familiarity, emerge unscathed. In fact, stress doesn't just leave our habits intact, it amplifies their presence in our daily choices. This dynamic comes vividly to life in a study on university students during exam periods. Researchers observed that high-stress times didn't disrupt the students' habitual behaviors. Instead, these periods heightened their reliance on existing habits, both beneficial and detrimental. For instance, students with a pattern of choosing healthy breakfasts doubled down on their nutritious choices during exams. Conversely, those who tended towards less healthy morning meals gravitated even more towards such options in stressful times. This study offers a crucial lesson on the power and persistence of habits. As we navigate a world laced with stress, the habits we've cultivated play a dominant role in steering our choices, for better or worse. Therefore, the impetus to forge good habits becomes even more critical. Positive habits can serve as our allies, guiding us to wise decisions in moments when stress might otherwise cloud our judgment. On the flip side, negative habits can trap us in cycles of counterproductive choices precisely when we least afford them. This underscores the importance of consciously shaping our habits. By repeating the actions we aspire to embed in our lives, rewarding ourselves for these actions, and designing environments that support our desired habits, we set the stage for developing robust patterns that can sustain us, even during our most stressed and strained moments. In essence, a mindful approach to habit formation isn't just about personal improvement. It's a key strategy for resilience in the face of life's inevitable pressures. Final summary. In the intricate tapestry of our daily lives, a remarkable truth emerges. Nearly half of our actions are not the result of deliberate decisions, but rather the work of habits quietly operating in the background. These habits, whether they propel us towards productivity and health or drag us into the realms of procrastination and unhealthy behaviors, play a pivotal role in shaping our existence. To harness the immense power of habits and steer them in directions that benefit us, it's crucial to understand and leverage three foundational pillars: the allure of rewards, the necessity of consistent repetition, and the influential role of our environment. Rewards, especially those that are immediate and, at times, unexpected, fuel our motivation and encourage us to persist in a behavior until it becomes second nature. Repetition, the act of consistently performing an action, solidifies it into the fabric of our daily routines, transforming effortful tasks into effortless habits. Finally, our environment, subtly or overtly, nudges our behaviors in specific directions, making it an invaluable ally in the pursuit of positive habit formation. By recognizing and intentionally shaping these aspects of our lives, we possess the ability to mold our habits in ways that serve us, turning automatic actions into powerful tools for achieving our goals and enhancing our well-being. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.